Cars. We all got them. Big, small, good, bad, ugly, doesn't matter. We've all been in or around them at some point or another. Maybe you've rizzed up a shoddy in one, or maybe you're driving in one right now as you're listening to this. In which case, I'm honored to have God's most distracted driver gracing me with his presence. With car ownership comes a decent lot of responsibility. Keeping up with registrations, insurance, and most importantly, maintenance. Car maintenance. I'm sure that filled you with a lot of dread as I said that. The type of dread that only a hole in your wallet can create. And let me tell you, car mechanics, and especially dealerships, can cause a whole lot of holes in your wallet. I'm talking $50 at Jiffy Lube for an air filter change type of hole. Don't even get me started on the maintenance costs for newer cars or higher end cars. Listen, if you have a Bugatti, then I'm going to assume you can afford the $20,000 it takes to change the spark plugs on that thing. Point is, maybe you should hold off on taking out a loan for the new Audi or that Ford Super Duty and get an old Corolla instead. Maybe a beat-up Ranger, and learn how to fix it up. Which brings me to the main point of this video. Learn to fix your car.
Fix my car? But I don't have time. I'm afraid of breaking something. I'll just bring it to my mechanic.
First off, you have time. Second off, I'm not saying to change out the blown head gaskets of your Kia Soul that's been sitting in your yard for the past year. I'm saying, let's start off with how to open your hood. Find the hood latch lever first. Don't you fucking lie. I know some of you motherfuckers don't know how to open the hood of your car. Here's a bit of a story as well as a lesson to everyone watching. Back when I knew pretty little about cars, and this event actually was the catalyst for me learning more and more about cars. But on my daily driver that I still currently have, my brake light stopped working. And I didn't know why. I asked a mechanic friend of mine. He said he thinks it's a brake light switch, and it was like, okay. I didn't know what that was at the time. I called up a mechanic and I asked him, hey, how much would it be to fix this brake light switch? These motherfuckers told me it was $250 to change out that brake light switch, and I was like, damn, I might just do this myself. I looked up the switch on Rock Auto. It was like $10, and it took like 15 minutes to change. And it was like, damn, mechanics really just out here just scamming people for fucking no real reason. Not only did I save $235, but I learned a couple things along the way. Moral of the story is, if you can help it, don't take your car to a mechanic or a dealership. Save yourself from that $600 oil change and try to fix the problem yourself. Speaking of oil changes, please, for the love of all that is holy and just, change your oil. Even if your car is down on everything else, on all its other maintenance upkeeps, every few months change your oil, because at least your engine will still work to a degree. At least it'll still be drivable, even with your spongy ass brakes and your dirty ass throttle body. And this goes especially for the people in the back who just learned how to open up their hood. Cars need fluids to function. If you take nothing else away from this video, take that away. I'll leave you off with a related cautionary tale. I know a guy who bought a used Mitsubishi. I forget what kind, but when he bought it, it kept stalling on him. Once in the middle of a four-way intersection, once at the beginning of a highway. That was the last time, actually. But the reason it kept stalling was because it had a little oil in it. And when it was brought up to him, he didn't know you had to put oil in a car's engine. In fact, he didn't even know fluids were put into cars in general. He spent however many thousands on that car only for the engine to be destroyed and to sell it off as scrap for like $400 or $600 or something like that. You see, there's soccer moms that don't know how to change a tire, and then there's this, rolling in your whip with no oil. The point is, if you plan to keep a car for a long time and use it as a daily driver, get familiar with it, especially when it comes to fluids and fluid capacities. Otherwise, you might find yourself stranded on a highway, paying back a $14,000 loan on a Chevy Cruze. Cars aren't as spooky as they're made out to be. Sure, as with learning anything new, it'll be daunting, maybe even a little bit nerve-wracking, but start out small and work your way up. Eventually, you'll be accruing lower back pain and losing every one of your 10mm sockets like a pro. In conclusion, keep an eye on your blinker fluid, otherwise people won't know which way you're turning.
Like, you thought I was feeling you? I was feeling you.
I see you.
Nigga, eat it, he ate it for lunch. Bitch, on my body, I get what I want. Like, bitch, on my body, I get what I please. You know my body, I do it with ease.
I went to my doctor to get extra teeth. He said you was there for gender surgery. Got an egg-shaped penis like Epstein. You gotta tell your wife, stop texting. Why you on Instagram flexing? You get all your swag from Etsy. Day that you die, said Betsy. I'm in Mason Marcello and Balenciaga. You in the gamer chair eating Cheeto chips.